Now, Kola's never beaten this guy.
Offline.
Offline. He's beaten him online?
He's beaten him online.
That is actually more surprising.
This was like an early quarantine, like a moist like quarantine soaked series type stuff, where Kola was winning all the Wi-Fi tournaments. He would beat Sonix.
It got him sponsored.
It did get him sponsored. But offline, they are 3-0 in Sonix's favor. But their last set was a while ago. It was at Port Priority 8, so it's been a while. Kola is definitely a different person than he was then, and a different player, too, as we saw in the set versus ShinyMark.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a good start to the day, for sure. Let's see if he's able to continue that into someone who's been a demon for him. Of course, Sonic's no easy opponent, and when you've got such a record, that makes it even more daunting to take this guy on. Love that from Kola, knowing that Sonix had enough time to get his shield up and avoid a tech chase side B. Just going to run up and grab. You don't get much reward, but it's better than losing the interaction.
Especially when losing the interaction usually means death. And speaking of death, that double-edged dance in the corner on Town and City, it was a big bane for ShinyMark, and I have a feeling that it's going to be a pretty annoying thing for Sonix too, but it ain't no thing for this blue blur as he confirms the KO himself just moments later.
This is dead even, and I'd love the flow of this set. It's just been a bloodbath so far. Down throw, jab, couple up airs to follow. Kola attacks on some good damage. Sonic's not making the most of that situation, though. I mean, he did the best that he could, right? It's not like Roy was about to get comboed to death and he dropped it, but still, I think Kola avoiding these big confirms is going to pay dividends for him. Like Light said, Sonic, potentially the best advantage state in the game, at least near the top of the list. So every time you lose neutral, as long as you're escaping a massive punish, you're doing good.
Absolutely, and we see it in this first game already that Kola not getting as much as he would like either out of these advantages, just because Sonix is so good at disadvantage as well. He really just is the whole package, and that's terrifying to go up against, especially now that Kola's at 120. He will be losing the stock shortly if Sonix can find a fair confirm in the corner, but he pulls back just a little bit too far away. Kola actually would have gotten caught by that one. Oh, you're dead anyway. Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, buddy. First.
Such a difficult confirm that Sonix makes look easy off of these spin charges. The perfect placement of the spring, too. It's crazy how good this guy is, but it's also crazy how early you die to DED.
That was the true corner of the stage, too, right? Like
he was kissing the ledge
as far as he possibly could have. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing that kill even on this stage so early with no rage, but
what percent was he at? I'm
78 after death,
I'm looking at the replay that we've got going on up top. It's like a minute behind, so we'll see it later. But he was definitely like sub 80.
Yeah, I think literally the last hit connected with Sonix at 78. So, yeah, that's pretty brutal. Either way, both of these players just firing back and forth at each other, able to keep the momentum pretty tame. But now it looks like Sonix is getting the better of these last few exchanges. Kola able to spot dodge the end of that jab, but nothing afterward.
It's the kind of volatility that you expect both with these players and with this matchup, but nothing volatile about that fair. It does the same thing every time, no matter what, and no matter to whom. That's going to result in Sonix winning game number 1, continuing his streak we were talking about earlier, especially with Sonix versus Light, how important breaking streaks was, especially in tough matchups like this. But thus far, Kola not able to do what his fellow Moist Boy did.
Yeah, that's true. Light shutting down an 0-6 streak against Sonix. Can Kola break an 0-3 set streak? I don't know, man.
He's already looking kind of dejected, too, which is the scary thing. But he cleans off the glasses, pops them back on his nose. And he's going to go right into game number 2, trying to make a difference.
Yeah, this is going to be tough, man. It just feels like Roy doesn't have a valid approach against Sonic. Normally, this character lives and dies by his rushdown game, and when Sonic can just outspeed you and slightly avoid your sword range and get a whiff punish for 1,000,000 damage, it's tough. And offstage is also really bad.
Sonic's slowing it down a little bit, too, and that's something that we haven't really touched on either, is that he's not playing all that slow today so far. He's slowing it down sometimes when he really needs to, but it's been mostly gas.
Yeah, none of his games have gone even near the timer. So I don't think we're really going to see that, especially against a player like Kola. Roy will either kill you before the timer runs out or die trying. Well, Clank and Kola just going to hold shield, go for the up B. I like that, playing it safe. But you're going to see if that situation happens again, where they clank and they go to 0 frame advantage each. There's going to be a little more depth to the mix-up game there.
Trying to show his hand on a ledge trap there, but Sonic's ledge hang also really good in case this character didn't have enough. He's going to be low enough that he's not going to get caught by jab at ledge. Kola going to get caught by a whole bunch, though, on the stage. Homing attack, though. Might die for it. No, okay.
Just a little bit too safe. I'm thinking about the end of Light versus Sonix, how Light got a back air out of shield on homing attack. Like, I almost never see homing attack get punished on block, right? Normally it's just when they spot dodge or roll away and he blindly whiffs. But maybe if Fox can get a punish on that, Roy can too.
Roy should be fast enough, at least theoretically, but it's also like it's a reaction test. You have to get it right in addition to being good. And
his fair is 1 frame slower than Fox's back air, so that might have been the difference right there.
Whole frame, and this is a whole stock gone. No, the up B actually beats out the homing attack, so Kola gets back up on stage safely, but for how long?
The spring. Oh, and Sonic's just looking to end it right there.
Don't do that to my heart.
That would have been so huge. Kola, how do you even this one back up? Oh, I love that. Knowing that Sonix would skip the ledge and go for the back air, so he ran off with him. A lot of people don't get an edge guard because they stay on stage and have to block or respect that back air. But Kola overshooting it on the other side, very smart.
Looking for that grab there too, but Sonix just staying out of the effective range on it. Kola might be able to get a little bit something started here on the PS2 platform, but no, not quite. And that's been kind of the schema of this set so far, is no, not quite for Kola. He gets something started, but he just can't quite finish it, and all of his big stuff has been off of stray hits like that side B earlier.
Dashing back and forth at the ledge here, looking for some kind of hasty return from Sonix. Not going to get it. He gets the jab, but nothing afterward. Just dashing back, waiting for the whiff punish. That is Sonic's strongest suit in this game. Second being edge guarding, but just a little bit off the mark right there. Burned too much time whiffing a back air and couldn't complete. All right, side B to knock him off. What does Kola go for? Just looking to poke through with down air. Again, making more use of that than every other Roy player combined for the last 5 years.
Jab actually connects this time around. He's looking for the dare, but he doesn't get it, and Sonix, he's just living through everything that Kola is throwing at him. This rat will not die.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to kill this character just because you can't hit him, right? It's not that he's heavy. He's a little below midweight, but getting him in a bad spot is nearly impossible. And when you do hit him, then he can just up B to safety as well. And frame 2 air dodge to safety as well.
Blank to safety is a very common theme with Sonic. Homing attack to safety. Here, this time around, spring to safety, everything just works out for him, and Kola cannot find the critical, the necessary hit to close out this stock, and instead goes down first. Sonic's able to position himself perfectly for that spring. As per usual, he does not miss those off stage. Oh, and 1 billion damage to boot as well.
That's a huge chunk of extra credit. Even if Sonix goes down here, it's not looking too good for Kola. Already about half a stock gone. And now he's just going to retreat to the corner. So difficult for Roy to chase him. Not even all that much range on this character.
Trying for that falling back air, but not finding much success. And instead, it's Sonix finding all the success, sending Kola way up high and then catching the air dodge landing with a frame-trapped jab. Now stuck under this PS2 platform. He's in a very, very bad spot, but Sonix gets a little wary. He's worried about a counter swing, and that's the one thing that Kola and Roy do have going for them in this matchup, is that the counter swings do hit really hard, so Sonix has to be constantly alert for those reversals.
Now it's Kola who's actually retreating, saying, hey, maybe he'll get impatient, maybe he just wants to finish the game off. I got 2 minutes to work with, there's no rush. But low-key, there might be a rush.
There might be a slight rush, especially with the full stock lead, and with only 2 minutes left on the clock, like you said, Max, Kola's got to do some work fast. Sonix knows his win condition, and he's playing to it. Loses that stock there, but 140 on him. Kola's going to be the one who needs to approach here, and that approach could spell his demise.
And it's got to be a fast one. To deal 140 damage or enough to take a stock, the pressure's on right now for Kola. Looking for a spike. Obviously, Sonix is not going to get hit by that. He can vary his recovery way too greatly for that. Okay, hold on. He's jumpless. He still might be taking more damage. No, able to fade back. Sonic with still very fast air drift. Yo, okay. Kola starting to cook here.
A beautiful tech chase, and he continues to cook, but Sonic's able to fare off the ledge. Trying for that lingering hit of Nair 2 to catch. Kola, jab back air, doesn't connect, but jab Nair 1. Wow. Kola, 111, could close it out here with a Jer in the corner, but the get-up attack knocks him off. Kola, he keeps fighting back perfectly. Everything has been amazing for the last 30 seconds, and then it all falls apart. A rising back air from Sonix puts him on set point, and Kola down in the dumps.
There is virtually zero margin for error on Kola's end right there, unfortunately. So, as well as he played for the last minute plus, Sonix just had to get him with one good shot, and he did. The back air at the ledge, and you've seen Kola be so aware of that throughout this set. That's like every Sonic player's favorite recovery mix-up is skipping the ledge without B facing backwards and going for back air. Kola accounted for it in almost every situation, but that time Sonix was like, I don't care that you've shown me that you're capable of doing this. I'm just going to do it anyway, and it worked.
The other thing, too, is the what if it works here is so huge for Sonix, because I think even if he missed it, the chance of dying was middling at best. Like, maybe Kola's perfectly positioned for a jab, but Kola wasn't positioned for it. The best he might have been able to get from that is like a run-up fair.
Right.
I don't think he was going to die even if he missed, and obviously we don't even have to talk about what if Sonix missed, because he connected. He got the kill. You said the margin for error was almost zero. I think it was zero. Kola had to play perfect for an entire stock. He made one mistake. He died for it, and now Sonix is about to ruin his perfect run so far at the LG Invitational back to school.
We'll see if Kola is able to at least put a game on the board. I mean, I still think a reverse 3-0 is possible. It's just very unlikely considering how hard it is to put Sonix on ice, right? Once his game plan has started, feels like this guy is unstoppable. The way you beat Sonix is by shaking his confidence, and I don't think Kola's done that just yet.
The other thing, too, is a reverse 3-0 is so tough against Sonix as a player because he's ridiculously adaptable. He's so good at catching on, figuring out, and just destroying you for every little thing that you mess up on.
Yeah, and Sonic has such a wide toolbox as well. When speed is your character's strong suit, it feels like the sky's the limit, right? You can do pretty much anything, any type of game plan. That said, Kola actually drawing first blood here, and a good amount of damage thereafter. Can he keep it going? No, not quite. Parry into dash attack. Sonix's turn resumes, but not for long. Spin dashes right through him all the way to the other side of the stage. And once again, to the other side of the stage. When you're down like this, obviously that game plan is less effective, though. So I don't think it's going to frustrate Kola like it would if he was down a stock.
Yeah, Kola finally getting to play with the stock lead is so huge for him. You can already see how much more aggressive and in Sonix's face he's being, and it results in that F smash, a 3-stock-to-1 lead picked up by Kola. So the adjustments, they're definitely working. I think the big problem that he already has to start considering is how Game 4 is going to go.
Yeah, this is looking like a go next for sure. Got a couple of those so far on stream today, and I think it's fine
wrong with it too.
To just write off a game at some point. If you're down too much, you don't want to exhaust all your mental energy just running your head into a wall, right? Sometimes you do have to play for the long game. But that said, this one is climbing back into Sonix's reach.
Uh-oh. We were talking about how this might be a GG's Go next, but we forgot we're watching Sonix. He's only at 54%. You could die here if Kola gets the right setup. Otherwise, though, Kola's got some more to play, and Sonix has got some more to edge guard.
Oh, man. All right, yeah, forget everything I said. Keep fighting, guys. Try as hard as you can at every second of every match.
Never
I mean, to be
up,
fair,
never what?
He was only down like one stock, right? There was no damage, no
extra credit. He was down
credit.
a full stock, though.
Yeah, it's true. So I appreciate the fighting spirit from Sonix, though. Obviously, especially in a matchup like this where you can kill the other character at 0% or 50%, it's very viable to make a comeback.
Kola been looking for a lot of these two-frame dares. This time, though, not successful, so instead positioning himself and catching that neutral get-up with a grab. Rinse and repeat, same situation again. This time the ledge hang does get hit, but it's a sour spot, so he can't combo into it. And then Sonix off of the spin charge. So much damage, the sour spot of the bear, but it still sets him up. Sonix might be able to close this here if Kola does not successfully get past him.
No
the
way.
Down smash, he's dead. A 3-0 for Sonix.
Oh, and even when things were looking so good for Kola, Sonix is just unstoppable in this matchup, man. Like, whether it's the character matchup or the head-to-head between himself and Kola, just no signs of stopping at all. That was crazy. And I don't know, man. All I got to say is good job to Sonix.
Good job to Sonix. We'll probably get the chance to chat it up with him here in a second. He's a more soft-spoken guy, but he has a lot of thoughts about the game, and so I usually like hearing what he has to say for himself, especially after sets like that. And especially after he already lost a set to Light earlier. I would love to hear from him, and we'll be sure to ask how he resets after something like that.
Right. When's the last tournament that Sonix started off 1-1? Right? I can't imagine it's been very long. Did he ever go to a summit? No, right?
No.
Yeah.
That was before his big come up. Like, obviously he was already a top player, top on Wi-Fi, but he wasn't like the beast that he is today. As we see him walking his way over here. Why don't you take a seat for a second, man?
Man, that comeback in the last game, bro. That was insane. We were like, oh, it might be a go next.
Might be a go next, might be a go game 4. We never should have doubted.
No, honestly, yeah, I never doubted myself. I knew, like, I don't know. I knew I could have made it, always, like, because I was like, it's Roy. He's still a very fragile character. What?
Move the mic closer.
Oh, okay. Testing.
Yeah, there you
There we
go.
go.
Is it good now?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I was like, it's Roy. It's a very frail character. I know that all I need is to get him off stage once or twice, and that'll be the stock. I'm still not happy with how I'm playing, but at least I'm like de-rusting and warming up into the tournament, which is all right, I guess. But now I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good overall.
That's good.
It was a good set.
I did want to ask, too, because you were talking about, like, fragility and mentality. Losing the first set of the weekend, the first set of the day, it obviously doesn't feel good. But then you come back, you storm in with a quick 3-0 against Kola. That has to help the mental going into your final match of pools.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was very upset about how I lost earlier and, like, the way I was playing. But I figured I just needed to, relax, calm down, take some pressure off my shoulders, and just play, honestly. I feel like sometimes we get in these events and get in here, grab a controller, and we just like tense up, and we don't really let loose and allow ourselves to play our game. And I think that's all we need to do, like everybody here. So
That's true. And I think you also got your hardest head-to-head out of the way at the top of the day, right? Like fighting Light, okay, whatever, you might have lost to him, but you already knew that going in. So now that that's done, it's time to just beat everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of beating everybody, your last match of pools coming up a little bit later is going to be versus ShinyMark, somebody that you have lost to in the past, that you don't have the best head-to-head record against. It's pretty even between the two of you. How are you feeling going into ShinyMark?
Honestly, I feel great. I think I was mostly worried about Kola than anyone else, if I'm being honest, because, I don't know, I think he's a great player, and like Roy, bro. Like, but yeah, no, I feel pretty good. I mean, I've been beating ShinyMark the last I want to say 6 times we've played.
You have been
Smash Factor
coin boxing
exactly
pretty frequently.
Coin boxing, so I'm feeling pretty confident about it. I feel good.
That's good to hear, man. Well, hey, congrats on the win,
Thank you.
We'll see more of you, of course, throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
And anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Honestly,
You'll be back on the couch?
I'll be back. I'll be back, and you know the vibes.
Hell yeah.